start with Cyberknife. You weren't planning on going to the Pennsylvania Derby, and then here he is.
Yeah, he's had two good works in shipping here to Churchill from Saratoga, and just with trying to get to the Breeders' Cup, he's doing so well. I just feel like we could run him, and it's not like we're just running him. It's $1 million race. It's a Grade 1. Could add some value to him as a stallion. So I think it makes sense to take a swing.
Speaking of taking a swing, do you think you can catch Epicenter as far as 3-year-old champion?
Probably not right now. And that really honestly has nothing to do with the decision to go to the Pennsylvania Derby. It's just totally based off how the horse is doing and what else is out there right now. So, that does not play as no weight on what we're doing and our decision making with going to Parx. We breezed him here last week, and he just went an easy half by himself. I mean, super easy, but did it the right way. Big gallop out, and just come out of it in good order. And if we see that again this weekend, this past weekend, we probably need to run him, and that's what we saw. So he's really doing well. He's a horse that seems to just get better the more we do with him. He's going to leave later this morning. He had a great gallop this morning. Looks amazing. So I think he's all set for a big race.
How much better is he now than, let's say, when he won the Arkansas Derby and ran in the Kentucky Derby?
He's improved a good bit. His Arkansas Derby was a very good race. It felt like he made 2 runs in that race. He kind of moved him a little early to get his position and then stayed on. Obviously beat a pretty good group of fillies, ended up winning the Oaks out of the Arkansas Derby. And then Kentucky Derby is a complete throwout, so I don't put any weight in that race at all. It's just too close to an impossible pace that day.
Do you wish you could have a do-over either with post position or just the do-over with where he is now in the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, I'd love for him to line him up and run him again with the same group. I don't think we would end up where we were, obviously. That whole race was kind of, I don't think Zozos would end up where he was either. I think he would have been more in the mix too. But it is what it is. That's part of racing. You can't undo paces and things that develop in a race.
Which Breeders' Cup race are you looking at with him, the Classic or the Dirt Mile?
Yeah, both. We don't know where we're going to land yet. A lot of that might have to do with what happens on Saturday as well, and once again how he comes out of it and how he trains moving forward. But those are the two that we have circled.
One thing you know about him is he loves a 1.8 miles. Isn't he unbeaten at a 1.8 miles? The Arkansas Derby and the Haskell?
Yep. He's performed really well at a 1.8 miles. Feel like that's probably his right in his wheelhouse is his favorite distance, and I think with a good trip he's going to be right there at a 1.8 miles.
Now you also have Tawny running, and he comes out of an insanely tough 4-horse field in the Jim Dandy. Talk about his race.
He ran really, really well in the Jim Dandy. Irad gave him a great trip. Very fortunate to have him back up on him on Saturday, and looking for him to take a step forward. It's a good race. He's a good horse, and it'd be cool if he could break through and get a Grade 1. But once again, he does have to move forward a little bit with his speed figures, and I think he's going to have a perfect trip. But we got Irad, so it's possible.
What are just the little things that, if you could speak in lay terms, that he's showing you that convince you to enter in the Pennsylvania Derby?
Probably just his color. How he's got a good glow to him right now. His energy's good. Weight's great. Just how he's moving. He's always moved well, but it's kind of like with these horses, the more you do with them, you start wondering at what point will they start tailing off, right? And he doesn't seem to be doing that. So he's been campaigned pretty steady since he started racing. He's really he's not had a break. So he's a very durable horse that's honestly seems to get better the more we do with him. So he really seems to be on it right now.
You're an analytical type of person. What about the field for the Pennsylvania Derby with Taba?
Yeah, it's good. It's a very, very good group. We'll see how it plays out in regards to the pace. That's probably my main concern. I'd like for him to get somewhat covered up or have a couple horses to run at a target. And I think that could happen. I think there's some speed to the outside, just based off some of the other horses and what they've done in the past. That and give him an opportunity to have a target. Into the first turn and up the backside and around to the far turn. So we'll see how it goes. But it's a very, very good group of horses, and looking forward to seeing how we match up.
Good place on the calendar for a Grade 1 straight 3-year-olds. mile and 1/8, $1 million. There's definitely a place for it.
Yeah, for sure. It obviously in the cotillion are really big races. It's really our last chance to run these horses with their generation at a Grade 1 level before basically you have to graduate and run against older horses. So it sets well on the calendar.